You got to admit, Whis is a right wheeze. Hey guys, MasakoX here. Yesterday we were talking about demons, and today I want to talk about angels, and my second favourite character at this point in Dragon Ball's long history, Whis. Although if I'm honest, he'll probably be my favourite character in Dragon Ball if Goku keeps acting the way he is. What does it say about me that both these characters have a huge obsession for food? Whis is an angel. No, seriously, he's an angel. But he's also an angel. Son of the Grand Priest, Whis is charged as being Universe 7's God of Destruction's attendant and also martial arts instructor. In his role, he is to ensure Beerus' safety, as well as the safety of others. Fortunately, he has the power to do so. In 2013, for the upcoming Battle of Gods movie, Akira Toriyama went on record saying that Beerus' power level, if you could equate it down to a simple number, would be a 10, and Whis would be a 15. These figures aren't to be taken too seriously because Toriyama just said it in an interview and not really consulted power levels in decades. But in terms of a relation to those numbers, you can get the idea that Whis is quite a bit more powerful than Beerus, so he can keep him in check. When I first heard Whis being played by Masakazu Morita in the Japanese dub and Ian Sinclair in the English dub, I immediately knew I would like him. His eccentric personality as well as his calm demeanor were just so mesmerizing. When you compare him with the frantic and irrational Beerus, they make a great double act. It helps that their mutual desire for good food is something that can be played on time and time again in really amusing ways. Although, in some cases, it did seem a little bit tired, like in the Resurrection F movie. Their Epicurean nature is what keeps Earth safe, thanks to Bulma's catering department as well as her contacts. And it really helps that their voice actors give over that tendency of decadence, yet seriousness and strength. But they're just so eccentric. Oh, I love this character. But yeah, Whis has a tendency to be absent-minded and it has come back to bite him on the bum. But come on, he is an angel having to deal with a really angry god of destruction, so some things might slip through the net and mortal problems could be considered trivial to Whis. I think what makes me love Whis even more is his calm nature, calm to a fault, as well as his sheer power and assurance. I have never seen Whis break a sweat. The closest I've seen him to anything resembling irritation is whenever he's in the presence of Vados, his older sister, the attendant of the god of Universe 6, Champa. Now, speaking of Vados, until Super came along, Whis was the strongest character that we knew of in Dragon Ball. But once we got to the Universe 6 arc, it turns out we were wrong. There is conflicting evidence in the series that Vados is actually stronger than Whis, and in fact, trained Whis when they were much younger. But that was many millennia ago. He's a little bit arrogant that way. But it's really cute to see that he does have a little bit of emotion deep down underneath his calm exterior. It plays out like a sibling rivalry almost, like Champa and Beerus have, only it's much more discreet. It's more like, no, I'm stronger. No, I'm stronger. It's kind of like that. It's a lot more mature. Is Vados stronger than Whis? Is Whis stronger than Vados? It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because there's always their father to take into consideration. The Grand Priest. He is stronger than both of them and pretty much everyone else in the multiverse. Suffice to say, Whis and Vados come from a very powerful lineage. But what good is that if you can't enact on it of your own free will? Now, I'm a sucker when it comes to characters and their caveats. I love when a really powerful character has a really glaring flaw or a quirk that makes them imperfect. He has a weakness. In this case, it's Beerus. It is Whis' job to make sure that his god of destruction is alive and well. If he's not, or if the Supreme Kai is killed because the Supreme Kai and Beerus are linked, he becomes inert, dormant, until such a time that another god of destruction can be called upon. He cannot function as a fully fledged angel. You might call him a fallen angel. The pair's relationship seems to be that of an older brother. They don't get really angry at their little brother, they just put along with it and they just chill out and just go, oh, you little child, oh, you're so cute. He knows what he's doing. It's a very doting relationship, but Whis knows exactly how powerful a god of destruction can be if it goes rogue. And that's why Toriyama created these angels, to deal with the destructive deities. In an interview with V-Jump, Toriyama is very brief, but to the point, about his thought process for Whis. I thought I had to create cool guys under pressure, so I created Whis. He's a cool guy. However, he's absent-minded, but I like Whis. And those gods are my favourite characters now. Whis and Beerus coming as a double act is no big surprise. You might have seen this in loads and loads of examples from Dragon Ball's past. It's been part of the show's DNA since the very beginning. A strong and intimidating fellow partnered with a cool and calculating cucumber. The tendency in Dragon Ball Z is showing a group of 2 people or more, like Vegeta and Nappa, Kibito and Supreme Kai. That's the tendency of DBZ, isn't it? If I create a set of 2 characters, it's really easy to explain which position they are. One character explains the other automatically. I don't want to put a lot of narration into manga, that's why I create a set of 2 people. First set of 2 were Goku and Bulma. When Goku was a small boy, he didn't know anything. Without Bulma, he could have been a character that didn't speak at all. Whis and Beerus are just the latest in a long line of double acts. You could even include the likes of Frieza, Cell and Majin Buu too, if you take into consideration that there are more than 2 people that are attached to those characters. They came along with the likes of either minions, masters or cyborg siblings. It's very rare in Dragon Ball for a major character to come along with no one else attached to them, to just be a lone wolf or a rogue, just a solo act. Hell, even Master Roshi, who was a hermit, had a turtle as a companion. And when you throw in the fact that Whis and Beerus have 11 pairs of God of Destructions and attendants at their beck and call pretty much at the same time, they've got more partners and more people to bounce off of, so that just makes it bigger 11-fold. Man, all this talk of partners makes me think about fusion. I wonder if there's a fusion of Beerus and Whis knocking around. Ah, I can assure you there is. Beerus. Let's take a look. Whoa, that looks awesome! Can they just stay fused like this, please? Thank you, Dragon Ball Fusions. You always know how to make good designs. So what can Whis and the other children of the Grand Priest do in terms of techniques? Well, they are immortal, so long as their God of Destruction is alive and kicking. They can react to all threats with zero thinking, as in they don't have to use their brain at all, their body just reacts. Are immune to after image movements, so none of that dodging and feinting that Goku and Vegeta like to do. They can speak all languages, living or extinct, monitor almost any activity in their universe thanks to either their staffs or their minds, travel beyond the speed of light, they're basically a universal taxi service for their gods of destruction, take that Uber, read minds, and most importantly, be able to rewind time thanks to the temporal do-over. Now that last one has proved its use many times. So long as you're quick to thinking, you can go back up to 3 minutes in time and correct any mistake that might have occurred. Say, your God of Destruction mistook a planet for another planet and blew it up. So you can just go back in time and just correct that mistake and no one will ever know. Now, unlike Trunks' changes in the timeline, Whis' changes don't splinter the timeline in any way, so there's no causality here. Can you imagine the amount of times that Whis has done a temporal do-over with Beerus knocking around? He seems like the kind of guy that makes absent-minded mistakes. I mean, we've seen him do it twice already in Super. Now this gets me thinking. What kind of role will Whis be playing in the Universe Survival arc? Will he intervene and save Universe 7 from potential destruction? Even though he doesn't really have any investment in the tournament, because no matter the result, he's gonna stay alive, as confirmed in episode 80. Beerus and lesser gods may be destroyed in the universes, but not Whis and the angels. They get to live. Wait, I sense a plot hole here. Wouldn't Whis become dormant without a god of destruction? Wouldn't you need Beerus to survive and the Supreme Kai to survive? Because if the Supreme Kai doesn't survive, Beerus doesn't survive, and then Whis becomes dormant? Sorry, I imagine that gets a little bit confusing. Now, either the Grand Priest has anticipated this, or the writers are going to have to do some narrative spelunking. All his other brothers and sisters are affected by this too. Now this leads me to think that the Grand Priest is up to something. Just something, I don't know what. There's too little evidence to go on right now, but I have the sneaking suspicion that the Omni King is not in total control of his domain. Watch this space. There is conflicting evidence about the strength of the angels and the Grand Priest. In the anime, the Grand Priest is labeled as the 5th strongest person in the multiverse, but when you look at the manga, he is referred to as the strongest person in the multiverse. Stronger than even Zeno. Why the inconsistency? Did Toyotaro miss a memo or something? Does this mean that the angels are stronger than we thought? Well, again, there's too little evidence to go on right now, but let's keep that on the back burner because that's quite interesting. I am actually interested to see how Whis interacts with his brothers and sisters. How did they grow up? Did they even grow up? Were they just created? I mean, hey, if Supreme Kais can be born from fruit, then angels can be born from something equally as weird. Or it could be quite conventional if you actually take a look at Christianity. angels, all that kind of stuff. Now, according to the Bible, stay with me here, it might give us a clue about how Whis, his siblings, and the Grand Priest came into existence. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5, on the first day of creation, God created the heaven and the earth. And when you look through the books of Exodus and Job, I'll include the chapter and verse numbers on the screen, angels were born on the first day of creation, and there was much rejoicing to be had when God brought the earth and heavens and everything else into existence. There was much to celebrate and observe. Could this mean that when the multiverses were created, that the angels came along with the package? I mean, it seems possible, but who created the multiverse then? Ah, well that one is easy. The almighty Toribot! Masako, are you joking me right now? No. According to Daizenshu 7 and Akira Toriyama's biography, he is the ultimate ruler of the Dragon World. That's what it says right there. So you could say that Toriyama has written the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. If Zeno becomes too powerful, then he can just throw the Toribot in there, and that could be a little bit of a gag thing. There is a person higher than Zeno after all. Granted, this is a little joke in a rather innocuous biography in a guidebook from over 20 years ago, but at the very least, I find it funny. In the end, I really love Whis, and I'm really excited to see the potential of him and his fellow siblings in the upcoming arcs. Do they all have a close relationship, or, much like their universes, are they paired off with another sibling? So they're just 2 by 2 by 2, like BORDON and Whis. Do they share a relationship, or do they all live together at one point? We also haven't even come close to seeing Whis at full power, at 100%. What can he do when he is pushed to the maximum? Well, I don't know, but whatever it could be a lot. I am really fascinated to see how angels really work and function in Dragon Ball. And might we see the almighty Toribot? Again, we shall see. Stranger things have happened in Dragon Ball. So what do you guys think? Do you think we'll see Whis at full power, or do you think we're destined to never see it? What else do you really want to see from this cool cucumber of a customer? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later.